The Mound matchup tonight, McCade Brown gets the start for the Yard Goats.
And McCade, over his last 13 1/3 innings, has allowed just 2 runs and is coming off his first win.
Meanwhile, Grant Rogers will pitch for the Jays affiliate.
Rogers making his 7th start at the Double-A level. 2 of his previous starts came against the Yard Goats here at Duncan Park.
Lavala with the Fisher Cats presented by the Hartford. Gabriel Martinez. He gets elevated from the 8-hole to the 5-hole after a couple of big hits last night.
2 run-scoring singles, and that's the reason, one of the reasons New Hampshire won 2-1.
Now that lineup will be facing the hard-throwing right-hander McCade Brown, who's pitched well ever since arriving from Class A Spokane back in May.
Well, he made his Double-A debut against the New Hampshire Fisher Cats and pitched 5 innings that night on May the 30th, coming off of his first win of the Eastern League career. And you can see 27 strikeouts at 18 1/3 innings pitched, and the defense behind him ranks 2nd in the Eastern League.
Take a look at tonight's umpires. It is Tim Barreras, the crew chief, calling the balls and strikes tonight. At first base, it is Che Eubanks, and Alex Shears will make decisions at third. Now, it's been 2 entertaining games. The Goats got the win on Tuesday night, a 3-1 victory. Fisher Cats bounced back with a 2-1 win last night, and Goats are trying to crank the offense into gear tonight. But first, they'll hope for a nice start from McCade Brown, who looks to remain perfect and will be his 5th start in the Eastern League.
Well, Jeff, he's coming off of not only his first win, but matched his longest outing of the year, 5 2/3 innings. I'm sure manager Bobby Meacham would sign for that right now.
Now it's the left-handed hitting center fielder Chase Borfin who will see him first as Chase is in. Brown set to unload, and today's first pitch is swung on and popped up short left field. Zach Kokoska heading back, but Karros is back in a foul territory. In a fair play he goes, and he makes the catch. Now, good job by Kyle Karros to take charge of that pop-up in a left field as he calls off the charging Zach Kokoska to record the game's first out. Well, tonight's keys to the game, as always, presented by West Hartford Lock. And Dan, what do the Goats need to do to make it 2 out of 3 in the win column?
Maintain that pitching approach they've shown in this series. Better at-bats and deliver with runners in scoring position. So far in the series, they are 2 for 22 with runners in scoring position.
Edison Paulino had the night off last night. He is back in the lineup today. Former Red Sox farm. In fact, he was an All-Star a couple of years ago. Goats saw him as a member of the Portland Sea Dogs. He takes a heater at 94 right down the chute, and it's 1-1. McCade, a good fastball. He will throw the 4-seamer nearly 72% of the time. Big swing and a miss. That was the slider, and the count goes to 1-2. He's a 4-seam fastball, slider, curve. Once in a while, he'll mix in a change. He works with Bryant Betancourt, who's got the gear on. Swinging a weak ground ball back to the mound. Flagged down by Brown. He will flip to the first baseman, Cordova. And Paulino is disposed of for out number 2.
No, Paulino's been a side in the Yard Goats, thorn in the Yard Goats side, whether it was with Portland or now New Hampshire, but he's 0 for 5 in this series.
Jackson Horing has had a big series so far, Dan. He's got 6 hits and 9 at-bats, and the pitch is taken up high for a ball. What a start for Double-A for this young fella who is a Massachusetts native from Ashland, Massachusetts. Got tons of family and friends here tonight, and takes the breaking pitch up high. 2 balls and no strikes.
He was leading High A Vancouver in the Blue Jays system with a 3.0 at batting average when he got the call up to Double-A on Tuesday.
And a swing and a miss, and the count goes to 2-1. 3 hits, yeah. His first game Tuesday, and you're thinking, how can you improve on that? Well, how about a 3-hit night last night? Help his team win the game as he looks at a fastball. 96 to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's that 4-seamer you were talking about. He throws it 71.1% of the time.
Horning, drafted out of Skidmore College in Saratoga Springs, New York. Swings here, drives one deep towards left. There's Kokoska looking up, and this ball is gone. How about Horning in his start here with the New Hampshire Fisher Cats? Points to some fans out there as he circles the bases. His first home run in Double-A, his 4th home run of the season. And the Fisher Cats will begin with the lead.
That ball exited at 107 miles per hour. Brown hung a changeup, and boy, did Horning wallop it for his first Double-A homer, almost a catch by the fan. And my goodness, what a start he is off to. Indeed, 7 hits in his first 10 Double-A at-bats, and now a homer.
Doesn't get much better than that as Peyton Williams swings and misses. That one, Braun cranks up to 97. Braun working with Betancourt as his catcher. That one just missed at 97. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Jeff, that's got to feel good for the Fisher Cats because that is only their 15th homer in the month of June. They hit 29 homers in May.
Yeah, a little bit of a power outage this month for the Fisher Cats. Slider missing, and the count goes to 2-1. McCade Braun making his 5th start, his 2nd against the Fisher Cats. He's looking for a 2nd straight win. Beat the Reading Fighting Phils last time out. Pitches swung on and lifted a short left field. Kokoska comes racing in. Third baseman's back there. It falls between Karros and Kokoska. On his way to second base as Williams. The throw will arrive late as he slides in with a 2-base hit. His 7th double this season. They kind of hit that one down the line of the Bermuda Triangle. It falls between Karros, Torres, the shortstop, and Zach Kokoska. All 3 give chase. None can quite get there. It's a 2-out, 2-base hit for Peyton Williams.
And you know, credit Peyton Williams, 29th ranked prospect in the Blue Jay system. He was thinking second base the moment he broke out of the box, and he beats the tag by Nick Kent. I tell you, the more I see of Williams, the more I like him.
It was a replay look from the cameras put in by Major League Baseball, testing some things this week as Gabriel Martinez takes the pitch outside for a ball. Martinez was public enemy #1 last night, a pair of RBI singles in a 2-1 victory, drove in both runs for the Jays affiliate. Takes the breaking pitch in for a strike, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. As fouled back to the roof. And the count goes to 1-2.
By the way, that home run hit by Williams, or rather by Horning, only the 2nd homer that Braun has given up in 19 innings pitched.
He's been really impressive. Goat's pitching has been impressive. Really, the last couple of games. 1-2 pitch. This is with a fastball at 95. The count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hartford pitching has limited opponents to just 3 runs over the last 3 games. That's one of the best stretches this season. There's a look at first-year Fisher Cats manager Brent LaValle. Time called as Braun backs away.
I mean, it appeared that Braun was on cruise control. He got 2 outs on the first 4 pitches of the game, but then boom, a homer. Next thing you know, a double, and now he's 2-2 to Martinez.
And one slash foul while they nearly hit Kate Doty, who's waiting on the on-deck circle. There's a rocket towards the on-deck circle in front of the Fisher Cats dugout at first base. Look at Jose Cordova playing at first base for the Goats. Goats in the teal-colored tops with the white pants on Los Chivos de Hartford night. And now Gabriel Martinez will ask for time as he backs away. Braun, 3rd round pick, 2021 out of Indiana. Here's 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Put the fastball by him at 96. A strikeout to end the inning. Fisher Cats get on the board and a solo home run by Jackson Horning. After 1/2 inning, New Hampshire won. The Goats coming up here on NESN. You take a look at the season comparisons between the Yard Goats stand and the New Hampshire Fisher Cats, the Rockies and Blue Jays affiliates in Hartford this week.
And they're pretty close. Yard Goats got the edge, obviously, in runs scored and stolen bases. But overall, the series between these 2 teams, very tight.
Gabriel Martinez will start things for the Fisher Cats, who open the seconds. And the first one from McCade Braun is a little bit low for ball 1.
This is the 15th meeting of 24 between these 2 teams, in New Hampshire leads the series 8-6.
Swing and a miss.
But what's interesting is in the series, the Yard Goats over those 14 games have scored 53 runs. New Hampshire 52.
Ground ball left side, cut off at third by Quiros. On to first base of the throw. Martinez out number 1. I should say Doty out number 1. Well, these two teams will battle a lot this year. 24 meetings when all is said and done. A good New England rivalry is Son Brown takes the pitch outside for a ball. Seen Brown the last couple of games. He's looking for his first hit this week. 0 for 7. It's 2-0 as McCade Brown misses with a heater. Brown has really struggled, Dan, in the month of June. Just 3 hits and 40 at-bats.
That's tough.
Yeah. Pops it up, back behind the plate. Betancourt will give it a look. A chance for Bryant back as he discards the mask and he makes the catch just outside the yard goat and Duncan Park logo as Son Brown ends up fouling out to the catcher. He's out number 2.
You see Bryant wearing a smile. I think he felt initially that ball was not going to stay in play, and then he realized it and discarded the mask and makes the catch and has a smile to go with it.
Now the shortstop, Jay Harry. Pinched ran last night, batting for the first time, and he lifts one towards right for G.J. Hill. He circles underneath, makes the one-handed catch at 1-2-3. Go the Fisher Cats in the second. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Hartford 1, New Hampshire.
Visit.
Let's take a look at some of the yard goats representing Venezuela. How about all 3 catchers? Bryant Betancourt, Jose Cordova, Ranico Palma, all having nice seasons and all contributing to helping the goats win. You can't find 3 better guys. And on Los Chivos night, we do celebrate the culture and the great folks from Venezuela. And good to see those 3 with the goats again this season, Dan.
Yes, and big contributors to the ball club.
Jacob Sharp lead things off against McCade Brown, and he takes the first one, a fastball high for ball 1. You know, you walk around town and you see the Los Chivos hats too. They're really good looking hats. Ground ball is short. Torres will field and throw out Sharp for out number 1.
I love my Los Chivos polo.
A couple of different designs throughout the years, and teams will play as alternate identities, but it's really cool just to kind of celebrate different cultures, I think, throughout the season. And here's a look at Torres and the Los Chivos top. Chase Borfin is the hitter, and he takes a pitch in for strike 1.
Stop the presses. Borfin didn't swing at the first pitch.
He does like to attack early, doesn't he? And it's worked, Dan. 3 hits and 7 at-bats of the series before today.
It's interesting because he leads off every game for New Hampshire, and he's gone after the first pitch in the first 3 games.
Swings here. Ropes one towards center. Carrig on the move. Cole get there and make the catch. Puts away Borfin. Route number 2.
Well, he decided to go after the second pitch that time.
Now this is second time through now against McCade Brown. He gave up a home run, hung a slider in the first inning to Jackson Horning, and he whacked it over the fence and left. His first home run in his 3rd Double-A game. Denison Paulino looks at strike 1. Paulino batting .313 on the road. Loves the visiting parks. He shoves that foul back to the screen right in front of the Goats dugout, third base side. No balls and 2 strikes. This is game 3 of 6. Fisher Cats in town all week. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Brown marches off that mound. Chest up. He gets his second strikeout. 1-2-3 go the Fisher Cats in the 3rd. Middle of 3. Hartford 1 and New Hampshire 1 on Nesson. Back to pitch, and here's Dan Lavallo. Dan.
All right, Jeff, and the first pitch to Jackson Hornig is a breaking ball in there for a strike. McCade Brown has retired 7 in a row. Pitch is lifted in the air, foul and out of play. 0-2 the count. Hornig has broken in with a bang. Played his first Double-A game on Tuesday night, collected 3 hits. Played last night, collected 3 hits. Homered in his first at-bat tonight, and that'll shake the cobwebs loose as Brown's fastball moves Hornig away. That home run, Brown surrendered, only his second this year. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball is fouled back. The Toronto Blue Jays, the parent club of the New Hampshire Fisher Cats, and the Cleveland Guardians had a dust-up today in a game. Toronto won 6-0, and that's big because the Blue Jays go to Boston for a weekend series. This pitch is a ball. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was hit on the forearm. And then Jose Ramirez of the Guardians was hit on the forearm. Both had to leave the game. That's a ball. But now a delayed strike call. I mean, a real delayed strike call. And you could see Hornig is puzzled. But Barreras punches out Hornig, and that's the first out of the inning.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Brown, who struck out Edison Paulino swinging to wrap up the third.
Now Peyton Williams doubled his first time up down the left field line. Ball one. Anyway, both Guerrero Jr. and Ramirez had to leave the game, and both benches were warned. The X-rays on both were negative, which is the good news. They're day-to-day. There's a bouncing ball to short. Torres throws to first, and quickly two are gone in the top of the fourth. That's a big thing, Jeff, because day-to-day means you don't know if Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is going to be in the lineup for the Jays tomorrow against the Red Sox.
Yeah, and the Jays right there, Dan, they're just 3 games behind the Yankees in the AL East.
The Jays are there. Tampa Bay's just a half game out now with their win today over Kansas City. There's Torres. Gabriel Martinez, first ball swinging, pops it up. That is the second baseman, Kent, with the over-the-shoulder grab, and Brown keeps rolling right along. We head to the last.
Visit AAPC.com to learn.
Impressive numbers.
He's been great this year, hasn't he?
Okay, Doty fouls off the first pitch. You know, the Rockies were in a rain delay last night, and on the way home, happened to hear our good buddy Jack Corrigan on radio interviewing Hunter Goodman, and Hunter said the Rockies approached him in the offseason and said, we want you to focus on being a catcher only. Because remember, he had done it not only in Colorado, but here, played the outfield, played first base, caught. They said they wanted him to focus just on catching. That's a ball.
Yeah, boy, it's worked. I mean, he's been one of the best offensive catchers in the big leagues this year.
And as we said, the push is on to get him elected to the All-Star game. 2-1 pitch upcoming. Swing and a foul. That levels the count at 2-2. Goodman, there's a look at Delta Cleary Jr., the first base coach. Goodman said something very interesting in that interview with Jack, Jeff, and occasionally he'll be a DH, and Hunter says it's all right, but he would rather play the field. There's a swing and a miss at a 97-mile-per-hour fastball, strike 3.
Brown can really bring the heat. That's his 4th K of the game. Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of players, that they're position guys, that they want to be in the lineup. And once in a while they'll DH. Now, the guys that exclusively DH, they do love that role too. But the guys, you always kind of kid and say, well, we've got half the game off, but they like being out there.
Well, and Goodman, I thought, brought up a very good point as the pitch to Brown misses. He said if he's having a bad game as the DH, that previous at-bat sticks with him. Whereas if he goes in the field, he can forget about it and focus on defense. That's a strike.
Well, especially if you're a catcher, because you're like the captain out there.
Yes.
You're controlling the game. Every pitch doesn't happen without you.
That's one of the reasons the Yard Goats Bryant Betancourt loves to catch. He controls everything. I mean, you can't think about your previous at-bat if you're a catcher. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
I saw Hunter Goodman at spring training this year out in Scottsdale, and he was just so thrilled with the opportunity to be the lead guy. And, you look back, he was only in 2023, just a couple of years ago, 2 short years ago, he was in Hartford, and what a monstrous season he had.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's now 12 in a row retired by McCade Brown.
Good-looking pitch once again as he gets the slider. And a swing and a miss. Hunter Goodman in 2023 hit 289 with 25 home runs, 17 RBIs, and oh, by the way, he also had 24 doubles.
There you go.
And he established that new home run record, 25. That's the record in single-season GOATS history.
Jay Harry looks at a strike. Brown is throwing that four-seam fastball a lot now. This might be the best he has looked. Swing and a miss. Nothing into high heat from the tall right-hander. Harry getting the start at shortstop tonight. Came in as a pinch runner last night. Played short in the ninth inning. Swing and a miss. Strike three. The ball gets away from Betancourt, but he tosses to first. And how do you like Brown? He strikes out the side halfway through the...
It's